Imagine waking up tomorrow and every single slaughterhouse on Earth has shuttered its doors because overnight, all 8 billion of us decided to never touch meat again. No more burgers. No more bacon. No one even craving a chicken wing. It sounds like a utopian dream for some and a culinary nightmare for others. But the reality of a global shift to vegetarianism is far more complex than just changing what is on your dinner plate. We are talking about an immediate earth-shaking shift that would rewrite the laws of economics, reshape the physical map of our planet, and potentially save millions of lives while simultaneously creating a global crisis for millions of others. To understand this, we have to look at the sheer scale of our current meat habit. Right now, there are about 1.5 billion cows, a billion pigs, and over 20 billion chickens on this planet at any given moment. That is a lot of mouths to feed and a lot of land to take up. If we all went vegetarian tomorrow, the most immediate impact would be felt in our atmosphere. The livestock industry is responsible for about 15% of all human-caused greenhouse gas emissions. That is more than all the cars, planes, and ships in the world combined. If everyone stopped eating meat, we could see food-related emissions drop by roughly 2/3. We are talking about a massive, immediate brake tap on global warming. But it is not just the air that changes. It is the ground beneath our feet. Currently, a staggering 68% of all agricultural land is used for livestock. We are talking about a total area the size of Africa and both Americas combined just for grazing and growing feed for animals. If we stopped raising animals for food, we could theoretically return 80% of that land to grasslands and forests. The resulting surge in biodiversity would be the greatest ecological recovery in human history. We would see the return of lost species and a massive natural carbon sink as forests regrow. This is where the transition gets messy. You cannot just flip a switch on a multi-trillion-dollar global industry without things breaking. Meat production employs over 1 billion people worldwide. In developing nations, livestock is not just food. It is a walking bank account and a primary source of fertilizer for crops. If the demand for meat hits zero, we are looking at a localized economic collapse in rural communities, from the American Midwest to the Mongolian steppes. We would also face a massive logistical crisis. What happens to the billions of animals currently in the system? You cannot just release 20 billion domesticated chickens into the wild. They would either starve or cause a localized ecological disaster. They would likely face a mass culling or be phased out through a controlled decline in breeding, which is a grim reality for a movement rooted in animal welfare. On the health front, the shift would be a massive win for public systems. Studies suggest that a global transition to a plant-based diet could prevent up to 8 million deaths a year by 2050 through reduced rates of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. We would also see a dramatic reduction in the risk of the next global pandemic. Many of our most dangerous viruses, from bird flu to swine flu, originate in high-density factory farms. By removing the animal intermediary, we significantly lower the chance of a zoonotic spillover. But there is a catch regarding food security. While we currently grow enough grain to feed the world, much of it is low-quality corn and soy destined for cattle. Reorienting the entire global supply chain to produce nutrient-dense vegetables, fruits, and legumes for human consumption would require a decade-old overhaul of farming infrastructure. We would need to learn how to enrich soil without animal manure, and how to provide vitamin B12 to billions of people who can no longer get it from natural animal sources. The cultural impact would be the most personal change of all. Food is identity. It is Sunday roasts, backyard barbecues, and cultural heritage passed down through generations. A totally vegetarian world would mean reinventing our social rituals and redefining what it means to share a celebratory meal. We are already seeing the beginning of this with lab-grown meat and high-tech plant alternatives. But a total shift would be the largest cultural reset in the history of human civilization. It is a future that offers a cooler planet and longer lives, but one that requires us to solve the massive puzzle of how to support the people who currently feed us, and how to replace the deep-seated traditions that have defined our species for millennia. If you found this deep dive into a meat-free world fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more hypothetical explorations. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. If the whole world went vegetarian tomorrow, what is the one meal you would miss the most? Or are you already ahead of the curve? Let us get a conversation going below.